If and when hosts get replaced by AI, it'll be because of the flubs like I just did. But no, it apparently is coming. Many jobs potentially on the chopping block for AI. News presenters will not be safe. We want to show you a news presenter from Odisha TV. This is a local station that broadcasts from Eastern India. This is Lisa.
Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge says that Congress is not interested in power or the post of Prime Minister. Kharge affirms their motto is to protect our constitution, democracy, secularism, and social justice. One more accused has been arrested today in connection with Manipur viral video case. Altogether, 6 persons, including 5 main accused and 1 juvenile, has been arrested.
Okay, so you saw a couple little clips there. They were able to put the news presenter in different hairstyles, different outfits. The only thing they apparently cannot do is get her to talk about different topics with a tone appropriate to the topic. To be fair, I have that same mistake, or that same flaw. But anyway, she's speaking, there's video synced to it. She looks pretty real. Adrienne, what do you make of that?
It's astonishing. It's unfortunate because I do think it'll cost people jobs. Because honestly, a lot of people, when they start on television, they don't necessarily get the tone right, especially given the subject matter. And she seemed pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it seemed very BBC, very just giving you the news. No like personality. We weren't on like MTV Live or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I wouldn't find it to be particularly satisfying. I want people with more personality. I don't generally watch straight news. I generally read straight news. I watch people for their perspective and what they can add. I watch John Oliver or something because he's a weirdo goofball. But if you did just want straight news presentation, that seems pretty good considering that we're just at the beginning of this thing. Like, it's hard to tell from that video, which was on Twitter, how closely the voice to the lips really like work. Like, can you tell in practice that it's not a real person? And the main issue is you don't want her going from like a story of how they're trying to catch like an otter stealing surfboards to like, hundreds dead in a tsunami with the exact same tone of voice. So they're gonna need to work on that. But again, this is still in the early phase of it. I feel like they are gonna be able to work on that. By the way, there are other AI generated presenters working in newsrooms, of course it's free, in Indonesia, Taiwan, Kuwait, Malaysia, and China. And here is what Odisha TV's managing director had to say about this. Lisa is going to be a great partner. It does the jobs that are repetitive and data analytical, so news people can focus on new angles and more creative work. Like not having this job and having to produce stuff for Etsy. What are you talking about? It's literally taking a host's job. Like reading the straight news headlines is a thing that humans do. You can't pretend that that's not taking a person's job. You can debate whether it's a useful job or if we necessarily should protect humans doing it, but clearly it is a thing that humans did that now, at least for you, they will not be doing. Adrienne, what do you think?
I think it's extremely dangerous in part because when you have a host presenting something, not every host is going to be willing to parrot out what the corporation wants them to say. But these AI characters will, so it removes any element of pushback. And even though it does sacrifice a sense of humanity in the tone, I think a lot of execs would prefer that in news delivery. And so we're just going to put ourselves more in a situation of creating a society where people are just served up misinformation, disinformation, and all sorts of things that will ultimately be very destructive.
Yeah, and like, let's say that you had one of these doing like a Tucker Carlson thing or whatever, spreading like misinformation about the election or about like, a voting machine company. So who gets sued? Like, it's not a person. Does the company get sued? Does the writer get sued? Does the programmer get sued? Like, where is the responsibility for what you say? AI will put anything you put in the teleprompter, like Ron Burgundy. Like if it's inaccurate, are you supposed to get mad at Lisa? Lisa's not a great partner. Lisa's a program. Lisa's a digital puppet that you can make say or do whatever you want. And I have no doubt that they're gonna love this. Eventually, we will see this on CNN or something like that. We will see this on local news. They will love the idea that they can replace a person who needs to be paid a salary, potentially get raises, have benefits, have opinions, as Adrienne said, maybe not want to do a particular story. And then when you don't have those presenters, you don't have people bringing life experience. Lisa, potentially, were she a human, might come from a particular part of India. She might come from, like, you can bring a thing to it. The robot brings nothing but what it's programmed to bring. And they clearly don't value that, but I think that people will. They just might not realize they've lost it until it's too late. Any other thoughts before I move on?
I think I just think it's gonna be dangerous. And the thing is I can see the benefits of it in terms of if you do have 24-hour news, to have someone who can provide breaking news right there on the minute, on the spot, and not be tired, not need hair and makeup. I do see the benefit, but at the same time, it's not worth it, especially when it comes to something as sacred as the news, which is wrapped up in the First Amendment, which is why it was so damn sacred. It's scary. Those who control the corporations are gonna control the news even more.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.